The Nightmare bot has become even more powerful, and a new leak has surfaced that hints towards a second part to a crossover that we've already had. Stick around for today's episode of This Week in Identity 5 to find out more. Let's get straight into discussing what happened in last week's update. We received the Lucky Roll pack in the in-game store, where you could use fragments to unlock different types of graffitis and also portraits, but the more rarer ones that you could get were the portrait frames that I think it was actually very difficult to get because they were super rare and had a super low pull rate. So if you did spend some fragments, I really do hope that you got exactly what you wanted. I personally am not really interested in these kind of things, but I know that some people are. We also saw a buff and a nerf for Entomologist that I found quite interesting, especially since she's been quite a hot topic recently, and she has received a lot of changes in the past month or so. The first change being that her bees will now be prioritized when a hunter is trying to hit a survivor who is trying to rescue. So if there is a bee surrounding the chair, the rocket chair, when someone's on the chair and someone comes in to rescue, the bees will be prioritized over the survivor. This to me does seem like a strange type of buff, but I do think I see where they're going with her. They're trying to make her into more of an assist character, and I didn't really think that she needed more utility that makes her even stronger, but as with the next change, you'll see where they're trying to go with her. As for her nerf, they prioritized hitting the survivor when the hunter is within the bees and is, of course, when they're in range of you. This means that a survivor will be hit when the hunter is in the bees, and I think this is again to push her as less of a kiter and more of a assist character, because before she was such a pain to follow because once you were in the bees you couldn't hit her because the bees would take the hit. Now it makes it easier for you to hit her when she's trying to use the bees to slow you down. But I think this does help with the assist, since in most cases you aren't just placing the bees to assist the character, you are actually trying to push the hunter away. So I do see where they're going with her, and I do hope that this works because that will make her into much more of an interesting character overall. Naiad also received her buff last week, and I haven't heard any complaints from either side, nor the survivors or the hunter side, and I have heard a lot of positive reactions from people who play her, semi-often at least. I think this has made her more viable, especially in rank, and I think it also made her a lot more fun to play, because before it felt like her moisture on a survivor would decline really quickly, and you didn't have enough time to really use that properly, and in most cases you were just chasing with your weapon. With her new buff though, her moisture remains for an extra 2 seconds, and also the fact that she can place Peeper down in her torrent form is kind of useful as well. Those extra 2 seconds do give you enough time to be able to use your harpoon again, or at least for the percentage to decrease a little bit less when you're chasing a survivor. Now, moving on to what we can expect from this week's update. We can expect a big update because it's been confirmed that on the 5th we will be receiving the new game mode, that is the Tarot Crystal Ball game mode. It's a 2v2 setup, and I have described it before in one of the videos. There'll probably be a card about here. As a quick rundown, it's a 2v2 where each character can get a boosted ability or boosted version of their own abilities by interacting with some crystal balls that will be around the map. As usual, with the release of the new game mode, there will be some rewards that you'll get by participating and completing some objectives that they've set for the game mode. We know that, for example, they will be giving away at least 1 frame and other rewards that are probably going to be fragments or possibly just clues. This week we also have a lot of birthdays. The first one falls on the 4th, the day before the release of the new Tarot game mode, and it is Smiley's birthday, where they will probably be giving away a portrait. And if you already have the portrait from last year, I'm assuming they will be giving away a frame as well. They always do this, yes. On the 7th, we also have another birthday. They're all hunters, by the way, very strange. We have Ripper's birthday on the 7th. Again, we'll have similar rewards to Smiley's, but just with Ripper instead. And we also have Guard 26's birthday on the very next day. That will be the 8th of August, and again they should be giving away similar rewards. So this week will be great if you want to quickly earn some clues and some fragments, because again with every birthday there are different things that you need to complete, and you'll get some extra little rewards for doing them. Apart from those updates though, we have some possible changes that might come, but nothing that's actually guaranteed or confirmed. It's possible they'll come this week or in the next couple of weeks. The Nightmare bot is receiving yet another buff in the form that it will now try and hit survivors when it's got somebody in balloons. Before, if it had somebody in balloons, all it would do is walk directly to the closest chair that was near to them. But now, if you're in its way, it will try and swing at you. I think this is going to be a bit of a problem for people who were trying to bully the hunter using Gardener, because now they won't be able to do it as much because the hunter will definitely try and hit them. Also, if you were trying to harass them, this could also be a problem for you. The Nightmare bot has become incredibly powerful very quickly, and I am interested to see where they are going with this and I want to know what they want to do with this in the future, because it does feel strange. Connected to the AI in the game, now the survivor bots in custom matches will have a scaling persona point depending on the difficulty that you set for them. I believe there is beginner, medium level, and master level, and depending on this, it will scale up. Now, I find it very interesting that NetEase is putting such a focus on the AI right now and the AI aspects of the game. I feel like it's foreshadowing something that might come in the next few months or in the next, half year. Maybe some new game mode that is really based on the AI, or maybe some story, since they are planning on doing this new story mode at some point, I think in November or something like this. Maybe this is connected to it and they just want to make sure that the AI doesn't have any problems before they introduce this. But who knows? Some quality of life updates are coming. Now Dancer's music box will not affect her own team's hunter in tarot mode. So this is something that I think people have been asking for quite a while now, because she isn't viable because your boxes can also affect your own team. But now, as it makes sense to, it only affects the enemy's hunter. This is going to make her much more viable in this game mode, especially since now she can pick up the boxes and her buff has made her much stronger. She probably is going to be a good assist, but also very possible that she'll become a very powerful king. Players will now also be able to move a little faster around their lobby rooms. I really am happy about this because it does feel like the hunters and survivors walk around really slowly when you're in your own room. I doubt that their movement speed will be incredibly fast, but they are going to increase it by a little bit, and I think it should be quite noticeable, at least for people who spend quite a lot of time in their lobby. You will now be able to send a ping message to your team on your peeper dismantling progress and also on your chest opening progress. This is something that I always thought was a bit strange, and I do think that it's good that they've implemented it, because you don't really need to use it technically to say, oh, I'm at 80% of dismantling a peeper. It's more as you're trying to tell your team that you are dismantling a peeper or opening a chest. So this is good for your team to know where you are and what you're doing at that very moment. For example, if they want to know if you're decoding or not. As for rumours and leaks, we know that a new 10-day event is coming soon. It's called the 10 Days Memories event, and it's connected to the new survivors that are coming out, Emil and Ada, the patient and the psychologist. In this event, you can receive a new emote that is the blowing kiss emote, and so you can receive some essences and some graffitis. There will be a special story mode connected to it, but I'm not really sure how complicated or how complex this will be. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are excited about the blowing kisses emote, but we'll see. But in bigger news, a new render of a mask has been leaked, and people have been theorizing that it is connected to the Promised Neverland demons that you get to see. I have not watched the second part of the series, but I saw them in the first series, and the mask does seem to look like one of the masks from the demons that I saw in that series. So that probably means that the crossover is not too far away. Maybe next season, it's possible. Maybe the third essence of this season is possible too. What are your predictions for the skins for that essence? Who do you think is going to get a skin, and what do you think they're going to be of? Now, we move on to the talk in the manor section of this video. Let's see which comments I'm going to respond and react to today. We have Bunny T that says that they would love the game to remove the chair camping and cipher rushing meta, that it would make matches much more fun. I agree with this. I think I would love to see the game be a bit more active and more flowing and fluid, because right now it feels like when a hunter has got someone on a chair, the game almost stops. The survivors are all decoding, and now the hunter needs to defend the chair and is very much locked into a certain area, because if not, someone's going to rescue and they've probably already lost the game at that point. So I do think it would be nice if they could make the game a little bit more fluid, where people can move around and chase, and this would make for much more interesting action events and lots of chasing and lots of kiting that people can probably be proud of. So I'm not really sure what we'll see, but maybe they'll do something like that in the future. Well, that's what we hope. Mohammed Anger says, vote Black Phoenix and Diane to become Koa 5's casters. Well, if you can get enough votes on that, you never know what netties might decide, and it would be a good idea. I do like it. I'm not against it. Nori writes, this is a great video, but where is Bloody Queen? Here. What do you think NetEase's plan is with this new AI that they keep on implementing and improving upon? Tell me down in the comments below. And whilst you're down there, please give this video a like and subscribe if you'd like to have some more news every week, every Tuesday about Identity V. Take care, guys. Bye bye.